I just kind of kept going consistently, kept trying new stuff, had all the time in the world, had no excuses, and I really didn't want to go back to work. It was as simple as that. It was like, the cost of not making this video is so much greater than making the video, so just make the video.
Today on the podcast, I'm chatting to my friend CJ Cawley, who is a fellow branding designer and incredible content creator, a mentor to other designers, and an all-round lovely human. Having chatted to CJ before, he is always so generous with his knowledge and honest about his work, and I know you are going to love this conversation. And we would love to hear what you think about what we chat about. So come find me on Instagram, where I'm at Liz M. Mosley, or at Building Your Brand Podcast, and we can carry on the conversation. Or if you're watching on YouTube, then make sure you comment below and let us know what you think. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, my friend. This is like proper, like, I'm blown away. Like, this is one of the coolest things for, obviously you guys can't see this. You can only see us. But this is like a proper podcast setup.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I wanted to try and achieve this in my studio, but I couldn't do it. Like, it was just too expensive for starters, and way too technical for me. Like, I just point and shoot and hope for the best. So this is mega. This is proper cool.
We've had a good look around the studio. It is very cool in here.
Yeah, it's wicked. It is an absolute, like, it is like the insides of my brain. When we turned up here, there's like guitars out there and GameCubes with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, which is absolutely mega.
It's like CJ's dream.
Yeah. I'm having like the best day ever. Like, so thank you so much for inviting me to do this, Liz. You're a legend.
I love that. Okay, well, maybe if people haven't come across you before, can you give us the story of sort of what you do now, but maybe like a little bit of a how you got there. Like, what did you do before?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, now I'm a brand designer, graphic designer, logo. I never know.
No, I never know
what to title myself with actually. Like, because there is so many, but like as a broader term for everyone, it's a graphic designer.
Yeah.
And then inside of that, I like building brands, which if you're trying to explain that a little bit more, it's like I draw some logos basically, and then create visual identities out of that. And I've been doing that for years now, like over maybe like 12, 13 years professionally. Studied in university, like graphic design, and just like fell in love with, like, I always wanted to do like a professional creative thing. Like, it had to, I only ever wanted to make money from being a creative.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. Yeah. Like, right from school, I just knew.
I refused to do anything else other than that. And everyone would always tell me, like, yeah, you will be poor. And I was like, that's okay. Like, I'll be happy. Like, I don't want to do anything else. So, like, I worked my ass off to get into a situation where I could just work for like an agency, and then worked for an agency for years and years and years. Worked in-house as a designer. So I just worked in all these wonderful places as like professional creative. And then 3 years ago or so now, I think it is, I quit my job to become a freelance designer. And I was like, I'm going to do it all on my own. I'm big enough and ugly enough to do this. Turns out it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's like proper stressful and really, really difficult, but like one of the most rewarding things in the world. So now I run my own studio, which is epic. And I still I work within like branding and logos. That's primarily what I do. Work with incredible people from all around the world, which I'm very lucky to do because I live in a little seaside town. Like, technically I shouldn't be working with people in like the States and America and Germany and like all these wonderful, amazing countries, but I get to do that. And then like on the flip side of that, I'm not just doing that, is I love to educate, I love to teach, I love to help. So I like to show other designers basically how to get here, how to make a living coloring in is basically what I call it, because that's what I do. I draw stuff and then someone pays me, and it's mega. So I love doing that too. That's kind of, that's the intro.
I can't believe that you've only been doing your own thing for 3 years. I feel like it's been
it's not long, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I quit my job like 3 years ago. Yeah, which is fucking crazy, right? Like, really, to me, it feels like it's been a lifetime.
Happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, so you have a massive Instagram following. Well, not just Instagram, YouTube. You recently hit 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube right now. That's what we're vlogging it right now, everybody.
Yeah.
You're all in the vlog.
So
man.
You've grown a massive audience. At what point in the last 3 years did that go from you, say, having, I don't know, like 2,000 followers to suddenly you having, because it happened quite quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
So when did it blow up in the last few years?
I mean,
early doors.
The first year was like pretty grueling and like hard, like it always is for everyone, I guess. Like, I remember quitting my job. The first 6 months, like, legitimately having no idea what I was doing of any kind. Refused to use social media. I was like, I really didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't, like, weirdly enough, and this is probably going to surprise a lot of people, I fucking hate social media as like a consumer of it. Like, I didn't enjoy using it to watch stuff because I couldn't find myself on it, right? I think that's something
you couldn't see yourself.
I couldn't see myself on it. Like, I couldn't find anyone that, anyone or anything that I could truly connect to and be like, this is great. Like, I'm learning from this thing, or I'm getting something positive out of it. it was just a lot of like, look at me, look how great I am, and you suck. That's how kind of I always felt
Yes. It's a
watching.
lot of like shame-based marketing, isn't there?
Yeah,
Where
it
it's like
was.
you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it
Oh
wrong. You
yeah.
can't do it like this. It wasn't very encouraging. Or, there was people doing like incredibly successful things and amazing things, which is where we all want to go, right? Like we look up to people and go, I want to do what they're doing.
Mm.
But they would only ever show again, like just how great they are at doing that thing and how it kind of just always looks very, very easy doing it. So then when I'd come back to my own life, it was very difficult and very hard, or I'd have my own troubles and like we all do. I just wouldn't feel anyone like connected to anyone where I never felt inspired to be able to do it. So I refused to use social media. I just didn't want to be on there. And I was going to do it the old school way. I was just going to like meet people, try and do word of mouth, try and, just build like a basis through that. But 6 months went by, that just didn't work. Obviously, of course it didn't. And I was running out of money, like desperately. Like when I quit my job, I had minus money. So like that was a dumb thing to do as well. So I kind of had to just like give over to it and give it a go. Like I was watching other people that I kind of knew doing this thing and using social media and promoting themselves. And I was just kept thinking to myself, like, I got two choices. It's either you get stuck in, like, if you can't beat them, join them and start making content and doing anything to try and move the needle forward, or you're going to have to go back to work. Like, you're going to have to go back to working for somebody else. And you're going to have to look at your partner and say, can't pay the rent this month. Like, I didn't do it. So then when I thought about it like that, I was like, just make the fucking video, dude. Like, just make a video. Like, I know it's going to suck and you're not going to enjoy it. So I did. I think probably about 6 months in, I started then being like, right, let's actually make something and make videos. I had all this time. I wasn't working. Like, I wasn't doing. I had no clients, right? So I had Monday to Monday to just make stuff and just try it. And I did, and it all sucked, and it was really bad. It was really, really bad. Like I had not deleted any of it. So if you want to go back and look at it all, it's really crap.
That's why I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, it's just breadcrumbs. I'm just leaving breadcrumbs for you. So like, go back there, and you'll see how it all started. It was pretty terrible.
Mm.
And I just persisted with it because I had to. Like I just kept every time I was like, God, I don't like making content. God, I don't like social media. Like nothing about this feels fun. It felt so clunky. It felt so uncomfortable. Like, look, there's nothing worse than looking back at your own face in 4K on a massive monitor, right? Like, no one likes doing it. Well, some people do like doing that, but the majority of us don't like doing that.
Mm.
But one day something began to click, and that's when your attitude changes towards it. I just kind of kept going consistently, kept trying new stuff, had all the time in the world, had no excuses, and I really didn't want to go back to work. It was as simple as that. It was like the cost of not making this video is so much greater than making the video, so just make the video. And then all it took was this like one video that I made where I just was working on a particular project. I just had this one guy reach out to me and say, "Hey, loved what you did in that thing. Like, can you do that for me?" So it was like it wasn't the most professional way of doing it, but like I just messaged him back and was like, "Yeah, dude, like I'll design that thing for you. That sounds great." And that was technically my like first paying customer based on the fact that I'd made content.
Yeah.
So he's like saw work, we built a relationship. I got paid to draw some stuff. Awesome. It worked. Like technically the model worked. So then it was just about like, well, how do we do that again and keep doing that? So I did it again. Like, but I used his work to show to people. So that became like real work. Then it was like this real work. I was working with real people, documenting that, and then that. So like, I think that started to resonate with people. Is that they're just watching genuinely someone who had no fucking idea what they were doing, try and figure it out. And I was just being really honest along the way. I was sharing in my videos how I was making mistakes, or I was showing to people that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing in this situation and I don't really know how to get out of it, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And I think then hopefully people saw themselves online for the first time, maybe, like, and that's kind of that was my motivator for then using social media, was that if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to make content and put it on this platform, it has to be for a force for good. It has to, like, I have to like look after that little CJ when he was on social media going, there's no one here I can connect with. There's no one here that I can look up and go, wow, they're really great at what they do, but they're also really fucking human and make mistakes and have awful things going on. And like that was the motivator always. And I think that resonated with a lot of people. And that's why now suddenly I've got this like, nuts, incredible audience, because I just doubled down on that then. Like that's all I did. There was no like crazy secrets to it. It was just, how do I just keep telling my story and document that and show people like what goes, like they will just show the real side of this. Like if I fuck something up, here's what happened and here's what I did, and just put my hands up and be like, yeah, I made a mistake, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then if I did something really well, it's like, yeah, I got here and this really awesome thing happened, and this is exactly how I got there.
Yeah.
Because then there was kind of like no, like I felt like I wasn't gatekeeping then. Like the relationship just felt better with it. And the minute my relationship with social media felt better, like shit works then. Like I'm not
And then you
fighting
can
it.
enjoy it more, can't you? Because I definitely have had that experience where if I don't enjoy a platform, or if I don't consume content on a platform, it's a lot harder to create for it. So for example, I really, really for the longest time wanted to do stuff for YouTube, but I just wasn't watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't really the platform that I'd go to. And then I did get to a point where I started, I think it was like one summer, I was just like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to watch these like different vlogs. And I just started to consume content. And then it was suddenly like, oh, okay, I can see how this could work.
Yeah.
And then I started to actually enjoy it and started to edit videos in a different way. And I was just like, okay, now that I am consuming and enjoying the platform, I can actually enjoy creating the content. Because it's the same like with TikTok. I just can't. I just don't
Can't get
enjoy.
bored, yeah.
I can't get on. Like I did for a little while because I had this like hilarious situation where my second video went viral. So I went from like 50 followers to like 7,000 followers.
Whoa.
And it was like I just posted some videos that I'd put on Instagram, and it just happened that that one, I don't know, flew for whatever reason. And then I've had this conversation with James Barnard before, because he always talks about how the reason things went well for him when he went viral is he had this whole back catalogue of content. And I just didn't have that back catalogue of content because I was just like messing around and just sticking things up and seeing what happened. Anyway, so then I was like, oh, maybe I will create stuff for TikTok. And I just never fell in love with it. And I never really enjoyed consuming content there. And so I'm terrible. I think I look at it like once a month.
Yeah.
If that, I just always forget to check it. And so I'm just like, you know what? I just need to give myself permission to not create content there because I'm just not enjoying it. But that really resonates.
It's really important.
Yeah.
Like you've nailed it. Like if you're not enjoying making content, you won't make it. Like it's as simple as that. You won't make good shit that people could genuinely enjoy. Like I think the audience feels that too. So like making content and making it sustainable for yourself. Like you have to be enjoying it, doing it. And I'm exactly the same with TikTok, right? It's a fucking weird place over there. I post exactly the same thing that I would post on Instagram.
But that's a good way to handle it, because I think if you've got a really solid platform where you are enjoying it, then you can like totally cross purpose and put it on the
I
other
don't make
ones.
different stuff for different things at all. Like people ask me that all the time. Like what do you do differently over here? I don't.
No.
I make one video
and you
or one piece
everywhere.
of content that I'm really stoked on that feels right for me, and I go, yeah, cool. It does what I needed to do, or it serves a purpose. It gives value. It does something. Everyone's getting this video across all the platforms. LinkedIn gets it. LinkedIn's mad, by the way. I think LinkedIn's slept on. I've got like hundreds of thousands of followers on LinkedIn now. It's crazy.
So I did an interview episode recently with someone who was Andy Lambert, and he was chatting about LinkedIn. And I think for creatives, it's amazing because everyone's a bit sort of like immune now to all the sort of like corporate content and the like, let me share a lesson I learned from, like some awful thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
Whereas they are pushing video. And I think if you're a good storyteller, which you really are a good story, like hearing you explain like your sort of strategy from back there, like you can see how important the storytelling aspect of it is. Yeah, I think LinkedIn is. But again, I just need to get out of my head.
It's inherently a boring place. It's always been a boring place. It's a business place. And most of the people that are on that platform and have been operating that platform for years are not creative people in that manner, right? They're there to run businesses. I kind of get that. So all the content that's on there is stale, it's boring, it's been like made 1,000 times. So then when there's just like one idiot like me that posts a video that technically shouldn't be for that platform, like it stands out. It makes people stop for a second. They go for that scroll, same shit. Well, who's this absolute weirdo on my screen doing crazy, mad, weird stuff and drawing things, right? Like it makes people have to stop because of the platform. So like there is that weird sense. I think there's a misconception there as well. People think that they need to make content for a platform and it's got to be almost appropriate for it. I'm a big believer of like, do the opposite. Like, don't make content for a platform that technically should be on that platform. Like, I think you gotta play the game a little bit. You gotta make some stuff that's sort of seen as like good housekeeping for that thing. But like, I love making content that technically shouldn't be for it, and it's worked for me massively. I owe a lot to social media, but like, it didn't happen overnight. It did take like, I think probably the first year was it was pretty humble, pretty normal stuff, and then shit did go crazy, and then before I know, everyone was watching me, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is I didn't mean to do this. I just needed to get some clients." And now there's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers just all staring at me, looking for me for the answer. And I'm like, "Dude, I got no answers."
Okay, so we've chatted about this before, and I'd love to know your perspective on it, because I think that is one of the things that scares me. And not that I've got a big following, but if that was ever to happen, and I had a really big following, just that feeling of knowing that so many people are watching, like how did that impact you mentally, and how did that impact how you create content? Because suddenly it feels very different. Like my Instagram feels very safe to me at the moment, because I'm like, obviously I don't know everyone that follows me, but I see them, I interact with them. Like it feels like this safe place to create content. Whereas I think if it changed to like, 500,000, that feels very different.
Yeah, the threshold, there's like a threshold and it changes everything. Like, and like, it's always going to sound so wanky when I say it, so I don't mean it to, but like, I don't want to be like, woe is me. But like, when no one's watching, it's fucking easier. It's so much easier when no one's watching, right? In that weird, so I know we all want to get those views, we all want people to see our work, right? Because that opens up opportunities, and it's great. But it does, again, everything comes at a cost. And the cost of that comes from is then like things become paralyzed. And there is this like funny threshold, and I can't really put a number on it.
I feel like it's 100K or what.
Yeah,
having chatting to people, they've noticed a big difference in terms of even engagement after 100K and what happens.
It can get pretty crazy. Like, it's exciting, obviously, when it first, like, you feel like a rock star, of course you do. Like, I was an absolute nobody. No one even knew I existed. And I guess there was never a desire that people knew who I was. But, like, I challenge anyone to suddenly have all those eyeballs on you, all these people praising you, and also giving you a hard time, too. But, like, there's a lot of positive things that are happening in that moment. Like, it's easy to get swept away with that and to start thinking, like, yeah, man, I'm a big deal. I'm absolutely the bee's knees, right? Life will humble you pretty quickly. As time goes on, and the more people that like, are looking at your stuff and watching it, and not only are praising you but also critiquing you as well, like suddenly there's this shift, and what happens then, and what happened for me, is this paralyzing feeling started to come in of like, well, whatever I share next, like whatever piece of content I create next, or whatever work I share, like, because that's really all I care about, is like I make great work for my clients and I'm sharing that with the world, and hopefully that's resonating also with everyone. But then now that comes into the play of like, well, now there's like 100, 200, 300, 400, like 600,000 people all about to see this piece of work I've done for a client. And if they don't like it, and then these guys go, this is a bit crap, or he's missed the mark here, or he hasn't got it, like, suddenly, like, does that diminish all of my efforts and all of my work? So you start thinking about that, you don't post shit. Because now like, the fall is so much bigger.
The cost is bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, the cost is bigger to fall, like to make a mistake. Like when no one was watching and I was making, you can make videos and be crap at making the videos, or say something that you didn't really mean, or make a mark and it was a bit shit, or design something that, just was kind of not really right for the industry. But when there's like a few, like 1,000 people watching, it's just like, yeah, it's okay. There's no consequence to that. But suddenly when there's like hundreds of thousands and like millions of people watching those videos, and then there's like hundreds of thousands of comments all coming in about how you fucked something up, or you got it wrong, or you missed the mark. It's awful. And that happened a couple of times. Like I posted things where I was so like certain of something, so sure that like the work I was producing was fantastic. And then the world's telling me that it's not. And then suddenly you go, right, I don't want to do that again. Like I don't want to share that work. And you just start to overanalyze everything and think it needs to be perfect. And
I think a lot of people relate to that, and it's just like at such a bigger scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that you've explained it so well. Like there's just more to lose.
Yeah, it's more to lose. That's it. Like I got a studio, and so I went from like being like, it's all amazing, obviously. Like again, I don't want to sound like I'm a moany bastard. Like it's so cool. I went from a bedroom. I've got this awesome studio space. I get to work with brands all around the world. Like it's all mega, but it's also so much more to lose. And like I was someone that in the very majority of my life, I'm now 31. I think from birth to 27 was bullshit. Like not good times. Didn't have a great run at this. Like I didn't have anything. And again, when you've got nothing to lose, it's kind of nice in a weird way. Like it's like you're untouchable. I was so used to life kicking me in the nuts all the time and putting me down that like it almost feels comfortable and familiar. And then like my life completely changed and it's incredible. I'm so grateful for all of that. Like I have this amazing woman that I love and she's incredible. I have a roof over my head that genuinely feels stable. I have money in my account, which feels incredible, and a job and a business. Like it's so cool. But that old like that 27-year-old CJ's like, this could all be pulled away from underneath you at any given moment. So you're not enjoying it. Like I'm not up here being like, this is sick. I'm up here being like, fuck, how are we going to keep it all? Like, this is so terrifying. So you're not enjoying the moment now. And I think people get that misconception. I think they just think that, I think a lot of people think that, oh yeah, he's just obviously doing really well. He's made it, man. And it all just happened overnight. Like, I've been grinding for so long to get here. And now I'm here. It's like, you do question, like, did I even want any of this either? Like, is this right? But it's just because you just don't want to lose any of it. That's all it is.
Yeah. And I guess it's getting to the point where you trust that it's not all going to go. And also, like, I think one of the big lessons that I've had to learn since running my own business is trusting myself that I can navigate the hard things. So, like, if something does go wrong, I can pivot. I can change what I'm doing. I can try a different way of marketing myself, like, or work with a different type of, like, trusting myself that I can have a problem sort of come to me and I will find a way to get through
Yeah.
that problem, which I think
I can
that's
now,
probably
yeah.
like that'll be where you get to, is where you're like, okay, I trust, that if I suddenly lost all of my followers tomorrow, like I can do this again, I can do it in a different way.
Yeah.
I can so I think
I have no
it's
qualms with that
scary.
now. Like, I have no worries. Like, if it all went tumbling down tomorrow, as much as that would suck, it obviously would be devastating. I've learned how to get here now. Like, I've
Yeah.
left myself breadcrumbs to get here, and
Yeah,
I
nice.
understand what it's like to get. Like, I know all the hard shit I would need to do to come back here, and at least it wouldn't feel so hard anymore. I'd be able to skip some of the bullshit and some of the headaches to get to where I am now.
You can do it quicker.
So yeah, like that's I think something everyone could learn from when you're running your own thing. At the start, you don't know anything. You know nothing. And guess what? 3 years later, you still don't know anything. Or, But like, there's kind of peace in that too. Like, that's absolutely fine. I'm glad I don't. Like, I do know you know a lot more than you think you do. But in the grand scheme of things, you know fuck all as well. And that's kind of like quite a peaceful place to be. I think when you come to terms with that. That if it all comes tumbling down tomorrow, is always the next day. Because 3 years ago, I didn't have any of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Like, you'll still be creative. You'll still have ideas. Like those core things, no one can take that away from you. So even if like some of the outside things are taken away, like you can come at it from a different angle. But I think it's really, I feel very grateful that you share that, because I think so often, and I've definitely been guilty of this, like I look at people who've got a massive following and I just think that's what I want. And I don't ask myself the question, well, at what cost? Like, I just think that is such a good question to ask. I think it's good to be reminded, like, yeah, there's loads of amazing aspects of it, but there is a cost that comes with that as well.
100% there's a cost to it. Like, and obviously there's some incredible things. There's some amazing opportunities that have come from it as well. I'm so lucky and grateful to have all those things. Like, again, like, I guess I'm stressing all the time to make sure I don't just sound like an arsehole in this situation. But like, I am so grateful of all of, every single person that has followed the journey so far and has supported me. Like, I owe so much to everyone that's done that. And it is incredible. It is just different. It's just very, confusing. And I explained it in one of the last vlogs I did, like this. It's something funny about the two worlds. Like, having like a load of people follow you on Instagram, like, it feels dirty to me. Like, like those numbers feel dirty. I think if I was in a room with someone and someone said, like, how many followers you got, I'm embarrassed to tell them. Because I think people then will immediately go, oh, he's some influencer arsehole, isn't he? Like, he's that guy. Like, they'll make a decision on it. They'll make a judgment on who I am just purely because of this number, which is annoying, because I'm exactly the same dude I was when I had no followers. I'm exactly the same dude now, and I have got all these, like, I've got this number next to my face. So that's all that's changed is this number. Yeah. But people see that without looking at anything and go, oh, he's probably a dickhead. Oh, he's probably just so up his arse and so full of his. I'm like, I'm just drawing, mate, and it just turns out people really like what I'm doing, and that's all that. That's the only relationship I have with them. So it feels dirty. Like, it feels like a brag. It just and that's unfortunate because of, like, a few people ruin it for everyone, right? Like, you get a few people who get these massive followings on something like Instagram and are arseholes. So it kind of ruins it for the rest of us when we actually also get a following. I think people go, no, I'm not going to like this guy. When I don't want people to look at me like, I want people to look at my work and be like, wow, this guy's really great at making logos. Not, oh, he's this influencer. So it kind of ruins it. But then over on YouTube, like, I've just got like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is fucking amazing, and it's nuts. And it's so cool. That feels different to me. Like, that genuinely feels like an achievement, as opposed to, like, obviously it's very difficult to do what I've done over on Instagram. Of course it is, but it does just feel different. Where on YouTube it feels like this humongous accomplishment. I think if I was in a room with someone and was like, 100,000 like subscribers on YouTube, it's like, whoa, that's taken real hard work, because it's like, it's harder to get that. Like, people are like having to really like invest in you and watch 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
They say that though,
minutes,
don't they? That
a
YouTube subscriber is the equivalent of like way more Instagram, because people are way more committed to watching your content if they've subscribed to you on YouTube than if they follow you on Instagram, which I think is
watching
so
one,
interesting.
like, like, I can post one video and it's 60 seconds and I'm not even talking in the video, and someone will hit follow. So it's kind of a cheapened thing, really. Like, in that, if you look at it like that, again, I'm very grateful that they want to follow. That's awesome. I'm not a dick. Like, obviously that's a wonderful thing. But the relationship between me and that person isn't very deep. They've known 60 seconds of me. So it's not that important, really, in the grand scheme of things. Or on YouTube, they've watched maybe 40 minutes, an hour, 10 hours
they really
of me
to know
talking
you.
Absolute dribble. So then if they do that and then they subscribe, like, that relationship's so much stronger. So then when you've got that, it's different and it's so much better. And like, that's why I've started to kind of move away from Instagram and go over to YouTube, because like, it doesn't feel the same as it used to. Like, it's kind of like not tarnished, but it just, like, it was really exciting when it was at a certain threshold, and now that threshold's surpassed, that it's just all a bit much and a bit scary. So I'm just taken myself out of it for a bit.
Do you enjoy creating content for YouTube more than Instagram? Because you said at the beginning that like you never really loved Instagram. Like that was never really like a platform that you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And you did it because, again, you asked yourself the question, you know, like what's the cost?
Yeah.
Like it was a necessity. Are you enjoying
YouTube's the
content?
best, man. Making stuff for YouTube is genuinely exciting. Like I can say I'm vlogging this now, and I'm vlogging my entire weeks, and I kind of do one off and one on to give myself some like breathing room that I'm not just like constantly got a camera in my face all the time. But it's so much more enjoyable because I think, again, what I don't love about these other social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok and that for promoting my work is it cheapens it. Like I only get technically for a video to do well or a piece of content to do well on these platforms, it needs to be fast, it needs to be short, it needs to be quick. But what I do doesn't deserve so much more than that, in my opinion. Like I can't explain the level of thought and process and detail that went into this like brand that I worked on, this logo that I worked on in 60 seconds. Like it doesn't do it justice. So I'm forced by that platform to dilute the idea. And I've done that. And I've you know, because if you don't sink, you swim. So like I've been happy to do that to get to where I am today. But I've got to where I am now, and I'm like, I don't want to keep diluting my work. I don't want to keep diluting the idea to make everyone understand it because everyone can only watch 60 seconds of video because that's what we've all decided that we need to do now. So going over to YouTube and having the opportunity to be like, I get to sit down with you for as long as I decide that I need to explain the idea, to go through the process where you'll actually learn what I'm doing. Like, because that's the goal. The goal is always with the content. It's not only to find clients, work with awesome brands, make cool logos. Great. It's also to help lower the bar of entry into being a professional creative. I want other people who have been in the same position as me, where life's been a bit crappy and a bit shit, to look at, you know, being a creative professional and go, oh, it's possible. Like I could do this. Like it's not this big pipe dream, or it's like it's not all doom and gloom. Like there's genuinely a way into this world. So like going over to YouTube, I get to do that because I get to show people like exactly what it's like to do this, when it goes wrong, when it goes right, in the time it deserves. And like YouTube's kind of king for that. It gives me that opportunity to do it. So yeah, making stuff like that just feels good. Like I'm enjoying every minute of it.
As a designer, searching for the perfect typeface and spending money on the perfect typeface is one of my favorite things to do. And honestly, spending a bit of money on the right typeface can really elevate your brand. Today, I want to recommend a new place for you to buy your typefaces from, and that is Silver Stag Type Foundry. It's a one-person type studio, and everything is drawn and built slowly and carefully with real design work in mind. Each typeface is created with versatility, lots of alternates and ligatures, and they all have that little edge to make them stand out and help a brand feel memorable. Head to lizmosley.net/SLTF to check out the beautiful typefaces and use the code LizXSLTF to get 20% off.
Okay, two things off the back of what you said. One of the things that really bugs me at the moment is, you know, where people keep talking about how no one's got an attention span, and like people won't read long things and they won't watch long things, and I just think that's absolute nonsense because there's so many people on YouTube who are watching like hour-long vlogs of like people's lives, and so it's not actually about, this is a hard truth to hear, it's not actually about their attention span. It's about whether it's something that they want to watch or not.
Yeah.
But I find that really encouraging because I'm like, actually, it's not. Like, people are willing to watch it if it's something that they want to watch.
Absolutely. Like, we all go to the movies and watch 2 hours. We sit down like,
oh my goodness,
we'll
like
hold a wee
3 hours.
It'd be a 3-hour movie. Yeah, Wicked. I'd watch that shit with my girlfriend. I was there for like 3 hours. It was incredible, right? But like, you'll hold a wee in to watch it because you're so captivated. But if the story's good, if the content's good, people will watch. And I think, I think unfortunately people use this as a bit of a scapegoat to kind of not take ownership of the fact that they didn't really make a great piece of content. It's the ugly truth. I've been there and I've done it. I've made shit content, and I'm not going to try and like blame anyone else for it. And that is unfortunately what I see 9 times out of 10.
It's part of the process, isn't it? It's how you learn and get better.
But the people that are like struggling still to this day, they're like, oh, I've made content for years and it's not going anywhere. The algorithm must hate me. It's not. The content is just shit. And I don't want to be a dick and say that, like, but it's true. Like, the content just isn't good enough. And the thing is, like, everyone is leaving breadcrumbs. Like, all you've got to really do is just take a look at other people that are making content that's clearly doing well and just learn from it. Just dissect it, digest it. Go, what is it about this piece of footage? What is it about this video? What is it about the story that has made this thing do very well? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing that. Like,
it's that analytical.
Yeah, you've got to be analytical in that situation and do that. And people's attention spans are massive. Like, they really are. It's just like, but you don't do like the actual platform, like Instagram isn't built to do that. Like people don't go on Instagram with that in their conscious of like, I'm going to go and digest an hour video.
Yeah, no.
You go on there knowing you're getting short bursts of dopamine. Like we all know why we're there to do that. We need quick fixes, quick ideas, quick shit as fast. They're consuming something to solve a problem that's going on in their life. So like the content that you make as well on that platform is never about you. Like I think YouTube, you got the opportunity to do that. I can be a bit more like, this is me, this is my world, this is what I'm up to. I can be a bit more selfish in that manner. On Instagram, TikTok, it's not about being selfish. It's actually the opposite. You need to make everything for somebody else. You're giving value to somebody else. Like that's the difference between a video doing really well and not doing well, is that if I make a video and the entire time with all the thought and all the attention going like, how can I help someone do something? How can I help them achieve it? How can I make it all about them? As opposed to someone else making a video being like, I did this and I'm great at that, or I struggled with this and I did this. Like just that language alone makes someone go, fuck off, don't care. Because it's a selfish platform. We're all there to just get, like, I need my answers. I need to figure out how to do this thing.
To everything though, because like I have been to quite a lot of creative conferences, and the talks I remember are the ones where someone tells a story and it doesn't have to be all of it, but like an aspect of it relates to me. The ones that I never remember are when someone gets up and goes, and this is like quite design conference specific, but where they get up and they're like, well, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this amazing project for Nike, and then I did this project for Adidas, and they don't really like, it's basically like a portfolio review.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I can look at your pretty, and your beautiful work, but it doesn't actually I can't connect with it. And I think this is why we get on so well, because I really connect with your sort of mission of wanting to be the thing that you couldn't see, because I feel the same as like a 40-year-old woman in design. Like we've chatted about this before. Like there are people doing it, but the number of female role models in design is so much lower compared to the, like the prominent male designers out there. And so I'm like, well, it feels uncomfortable. It's not always easy, but like if I can be visible as a middle-aged female designer and show other people that it's possible with kids, like you can do it. Like I feel really passionately about that recently. And like last year I got to speak at Adobe Max, which was amazing. Like absolutely the most terrifying thing I've ever done. But part of me was like, I want to be on that stage so that people can see something different. Like, and
it's so different, isn't it, when you've suddenly got a motivation that surpasses, it's bigger than you. It's bigger, like, and that's what you have. And again, this is why we get on so well, and why I love seeing what you do, because it's right. You've found that gap in this space and gone like, I could do something for it, and that is that I'm a middle-aged woman with kids trying to run my own business, and I can't find myself in that space doing that. So you know what? I'm going to make it my mission to show that it's possible and do that. So then, like this is so much bigger than you now. This is for other people too, and you want to help other people, and that's why people resonate with you and they fall in love with you. And I think being relatable is such a powerful tool. Like you can't go running your business like this or promoting your business on the whole, I'm just incredible at everything I do. Like it will only get you so far. Showing a little bit of vulnerability, a little bit of humanity it's a superpower.
Huge,
and that's why you're now standing on a stage at Adobe being able to give talks, is because you actually stripped back some of the bullshit and was like, I shouldn't be able to do this technically in the way this world works, but here I am doing it, and watch this fucking happen. We all want to rally that type of person, right? We all want, like, I'm on the sidelines going, go this, because I want to see it happen. But no one wants to see like the guy who's done it all already go up there and do it. Everyone's like, fuck this guy. This guy sucks. He's already done everything. Like I can't connect with him. So it is super important. And I think that is why massively we connect.
Yeah. There's loads of random things that have happened to you. One very recently, which I would love to chat about. So tell us a story about how some guy has basically stolen your face, your business, your life. Like, because this must be one of the sort of weirder aspects of having a large social media following.
Yeah. So there has been some weird things that have happened along the way. Again, I in my eyes, I am just a dude who I draw some stuff and I get paid to do it. Right? And that is exactly what it is. There's nothing more than that. Like I'm not a rock star and I'm not a pop star. It's nothing like that. But there is this weird thing when stuff like that happens, when suddenly you get recognized for stuff, or people like want to, like take your likeness, and that's a pretty cool moment if I'm honest. I quite liked it.
How much you're enjoying it, because I'm just like, this is the creepiest crap ever, and you're just like, I've made it.
Yeah, I'm like, I've made it, bro. This is awesome. So basically, I get a lot of the time I get people messaged me to say, hey, saw this thing, I think someone's stealing your work, or I think they're taking a likeness of this thing.
And you have had people copying you in the past.
I've had
You're,
legit copies in the
Yeah.
past, and again, I don't care. I just can't grumble about it. I think it's awesome in a way, and I just do. Like, I don't know if I if I was directly losing work from it, fine. Like,
or if it was an issue for a client, if someone's
like if
copied the
someone's
brand,
genuine, if something damage has happened, I'm obviously not an idiot. Like, I would do something more serious than what I've done about it. But in this situation, I didn't, and that's because I was so used to it. But this one night, I got this message. It was really late, about to go to sleep, and this guy's texted me. And he's like, "Dude, I know you've been copied in the past, but I really need you to see this thing, and I'm really serious." Because I'll read stuff that I'm like, I don't get. But I was like, I'm intrigued, and there was just this link to this website, and I was like, yeah, go on then. I'm literally like falling asleep. I'm in bed, and I'm kind of like scrolling through, and I open it up, and my website just loads. I'm like, why you just sent me my own website? I was like, what the fuck is this going on about? But I looked and I was like, but the URL's different. It's www.delwox.com. And I'll search it up. It's still live. It's still active. And then my logo's just changed. That's the only thing that's different is that it now says Delwox and my Shakahan logo is not there. But everything else is the same. All the work's the same. I'm like, some guys just like cloned my site. This is nuts. And I wasn't thinking too much of it, but I just kind of kept scrolling down and was like, don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I didn't care because I was like, I'm about to go to bed and I got shit to do tomorrow. So I just was like, all right, fine, we'll find
I'll deal with this
space.
tomorrow.
I'll carve some time out eventually to figure this thing out. But as I scroll down, what was a picture of my face just isn't my picture of my face anymore. This guy had removed my face. Like, it's exactly the same image, but he's taken my face off and just put his face on. And he's done quite a good job of it too.
I think it must be AI.
So it's definitely AI. Obviously this is AI. He's used AI. He's done a fantastic job of it. And he's so like, that's a very creepy thing to suddenly happen to you. And I'm in bed at this point. I'm just lying in bed for like the most relaxed I've ever been. And then suddenly I'm heightened with this like image of myself that's been manipulated to look like somebody else. And then he's even changed the words. Like, my bio was like, hi, I'm CJ. I'm a brand designer from the UK. And his is, hi, I'm Evan, a brand designer from the India. I was like, shit, this guy is
It didn't say the India.
This is the India. He didn't even change the bit. Like, it's so weird. Like, some of it was so well done, and then there was so much laziness throughout all of it as well. So it literally says, I'm Evan from the India, because I was like I think mine said like from the southwest of the UK or something like that. So I was like, all right, fine. Okay, this is Evan. So Evan stole my face. So I keep going through it, and then I go on the About Me page of my website, and then I go on the About Me page of his website, which is again exactly the same. And he's done it to all of the photos. There's all these photos of me. He has legitimately taken my face, put his face on it, and kept everything else the same. He's gone like to huge deals to do this, and I'm like, Christ, what am I actually going to do? But this is quite serious.
Like, I don't even know what
he's cloned my site. He's done this thing, so I kind of was like, I was lying in bed thinking,
this is a tomorrow CJ problem.
This is definitely a tomorrow CJ problem. But I was like, I'll show my partner as well. She can believe it. She was like, this is. She was quite concerned. She was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, are you kidding? I'm a rock star. Someone wants to be me. This is amazing. It shouldn't, because I am an idiot. So I'm like, I feel incredibly honoured that anyone would even do it. Which is such a dumb thing, isn't it? I'm honoured that it's happened to me, but I am. So then I wake up the next day and I'm like, shit, I should do something about this. But it's such a cool story that I'm like, I'll share it in my stories. I'm gonna show everyone this really cool thing that happened to me because I'm really proud of it. Which is so dumb, isn't it? So I put it in my stories and I tell the story and I start getting like, dude, I've never had a story on my Instagram ever have this type of numbers ever, like, which is really shameful because I'm like, I want people to care about my logos, but no one cares like this. I put that and it got like 70,000 views in my story. It was like so dumb. All these people messaged me like in the like so many, like it must be in the thousands of requested like messages and it's being like, oh my god, this is insane, this is amazing. Like, people are loving it, but they're also being like, you need to do something about this. Like, this is really terrifying. This shows that AI is like such an awful thing and how you can just like, clone your entire existence and remove everything from like, he's just taking ownership of all of your work and everything you've ever done. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty serious, isn't it? And like, the more people were like saying like, seriously, you need to lawyer up, or like, you need to do this, this, and this. And there was some wonderful advice. And obviously I didn't take any of the advice because I'm an idiot. And I was like, no, we got to do something cooler with this information. So I couldn't stop thinking about it and was like, I just kind of want to make something fun out of this and just sort of shine a light on like, this is a really terrible thing that's happening, but just do something fun with it. So he changed on my contact form. There's a picture of me outside my studio, being very proud of the fact I've got a studio. And he's just like removed my name from it, like took Seaside Studio off and which I was like, I think I took more offense to that than anything else. I was like,
also, you didn't even add anything. You just
made
it
it's
black.
Still a picture of my face as well. That's what I mean. There was so much laziness in it. And if you actually look really closely, he didn't Photoshop it. He just put a black rectangle over it. You can actually see the edges of it. So I was like, that's really weird. Like the pictures of my face, the detail's incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you showed that to someone else, they wouldn't know that's a docked photo. They'd be like, well, that's Evan. Right? Evan looks great. But in the studio photo, it's such a terrible. I know, I can't wait. In the studio photo, he'd like really done a crap botched job of it. So I was like, okay, what's just the opposite of what he's done? This is how I deal with everything. It's like, okay, well, like he's been really mean and used AI to steal my identity. I'm gonna do the most human way to steal it back. So I then turned my studio into Delvox. So I took his name and put it on my studio instead, and I made a whole video out of that, which then everyone loved. But they were also like, CJ, you need to do something serious about this. So I've decided that I'm just gonna make another video out of it instead, and I'm gonna try and hire Evan I'm gonna try and get him to design a logo for me, and then I'm gonna wear his face on my face.
Are you gonna do like a paper
like I'm gonna
cutout?
get like a picture of his face and wear it and then try and hire him and like come up with a whole fake identity myself and try and teach him like we shouldn't be doing this isn't a good thing and try and put him on the right path. But yeah, it's a pretty mental thing to happen.
I think we are going to have to start thinking about all of this sort of thing more. Because like one of my biggest fears as a podcast host is that someone's going to clone my voice and ring my parents and say,
isn't it?
Like, oh, I'm stuck. Can you send me money? And
this
like, I've chatted to my family about this. My family's quite morbid, so they love to be prepared for all these like terrible eventualities. And so I like had this conversation with them, and I was like, right, we need to come up with a question that like no one else apart from like I would know the answer to, like a code. So we've got this code question, and it's so hilarious and so niche. And so I've kind of like slightly prepped them for it. But also it's happening with like celebrities. But there's like, what can you do about it? It's really hard to get it taken down.
It's not policed at the minute, is it? That's the thing. And like it eventually, like it will. I think it'll all be okay. Like I'm a very optimistic person when it comes to stuff like that. Like the internet was not a police place back in the day.
No,
like
and
when
it is
that first started.
So now.
Now it's super policed, right? There's loads of things you can't do on it. I think AI will happen. It's super fresh. It's super early, and people are just like really excited about it. And they're just like, what can we do with this thing? And unfortunately, like some shit's gonna go wrong before it goes right. But like what Evan does, it kind of just goes to show like why we can't have nice things. I think AI could be an amazing thing. I think it is an amazing thing. Of course, it's an amazing thing. But it can also be used to do really dumb, stupid shit.
I mean, it's like with everything in the world, isn't it? It's like some people are going to use it to do incredible things like cure cancer, and some people are going to use it for nefarious reasons. And it's like what you say, this is why we can't have nice things, because there's always going to be people who are going to mess it up. But I think the thing that I find most frustrating is I feel like we've been through this cycle before. And so we kind of know, I feel like we should have known before it happened, the bad things that happened. And so I always find it interesting that people are so like slow to police it. But then I think the answer is you always like, I think that, you know, what people say, you always have to follow the money, don't you? Like who does it benefit? It comes back to at what cost. It's like, well, who's benefiting from it not being policed at this point?
Exactly. Someone is, whoever runs this stuff and owns all this stuff is someone's probably saying like, dude, this is really great what you've built. But I just want to let you know, there's a bunch of really terrible stuff that's happening.
And they're like, I don't care. I just want the money.
But like, a few years ago, dude, I was broke, and now I stink of cash now. So I kind of don't care if Evan's stealing CJ's face. It just doesn't really matter to me. So like, I kind of wasn't almost respected from that point. Like everyone's a human, fine. Like I think until it starts doing really, really awful things, shit will change. But it was the same thing with smartphones. I always said that about smartphones as well. Like our relationship with that had like got really terrible. Like it was an amazing thing when they happened. Like the mobile phone, everyone had one in their hand. Wow, this is awesome. We got this thing. I can do all this crazy stuff. And now we're all a bunch of vegetables like glued to it, stuck to it. Like
totally.
There's so much of a good thing, you know. And like phones are great. They're awesome. We do amazing stuff on them. But too much of it, we become vegetables. Kids can't speak properly. It's dumb.
Isn't it so funny how everything kind of comes back to the same core lessons that we're taught as a child? You know, things like everything in moderation. You know, like
just moderation.
Just have a little bit. You know, self-control. You know, all of these things, and it's kind of just like, oh, we're just having to learn the same lesson over and over and over again. You know, like if you eat like too many carrots, you turn orange. Like I've literally seen that happen to someone, and so like even if it's something that we think, you know, a vegetable is like amazing, you know, like too much of
you
it
can OD
is
on
bad
that thing.
for it.
Yeah, you can have too much of it. And it's the same thing we were just saying earlier. This whole podcast is really just about don't have too much of a good thing or too much of anything. Because it's like I said, it's the same with like the attention, the followers, the eyeballs and stuff. Like there becomes too much of that thing. And I think I experienced that. Like I was crippled by all of those people watching, like having my work seen by millions of people. So cool. But then it comes at that cost of like there's too much of it where it paralyzed me. And I felt like shit about stuff. Like I could have quit 1,000 times. I wanted to turn it all off, like all the notifications buzzing through into your life and into your phone. And Like I would go places and like people would actually know who I am. Like I didn't want that like ever, and I'm like I'm nobody. Like I'm not even. I don't know how famous people do it. Legitimately, don't know how famous people do it.
Yeah.
I've been recognized a few times in my life, and I'm like, sorry, what? Like,
Sorry, what?
what? And they want to know stuff, and they feel like they know you. That's also like a really weird experience to have when like you don't truly know who that
They know
person is.
stuff
Like
about
that
you.
face is a stranger to you, and they come up to you and they're like, "Yo, what's up, dude? I know," and you're like, "I don't know who you are.
I know all about Evan
Yeah.
stealing your
Yeah," and I'm like, "Bro,
face.
what's your name? Like, I don't even know who you are." Like, it's a weird thing. Like, it's too much of a good thing sometimes. So yeah, just everything in moderation.
What is something that's exciting you at the moment? Like, obviously, we've talked about sort of like the struggles, and I think it's so important to talk about those things because, like, we are all going through it in some way, shape, or form. What is something that you're like, oh, I'm so excited about working on this or doing this, or this is something that I want to work towards?
Yeah, I think like for me, I'm still just loving the actual work that I do.
Yeah.
So like not like remove all the content side of stuff and that. I think I'll always have a love-hate relationship with that thing. I love making things for people, and I love like working with an individual on their idea. So like right now, I'm working with just amazing brands that are quite a lot of these are in like the food and bev type space, and they're making like just like really great products for really great people too, and they really want to like disrupt their industries and do things a little bit weird and a little bit wacky and sort of say like, why can't we do it that way? Like I'm finding my feet more and more in that space. Like I always wanted to do that. I think I've always been that. I've always been that kind of more alternative dude. I came from like skateboard culture and rock and roll and all that kind of stuff. Like a little bit rebellious, a little bit naughty, like within reason. I'm not actually a bad guy. I'm not a criminal, but I kind of like that, being a bit naughty and being a little bit in trouble. And I'm starting to attract those people now too. Like that's
those
taken me.
disruptor brands.
Yeah, those brands that come to me.
That's the corporate way of putting it, isn't it? Like
yeah.
just those disruptor brands who are like, no, I don't want to do it like everybody else is doing. I want to find my own way to do it.
So people are starting to see that now for the first. Like it's taken like 3 years of positioning myself like that, and that was really scary. I kind of like really started doing it a year or so ago. I started kind of putting out to the world and within the marketing side of stuff and my website, my portfolio, and the videos that I'm like, I'm here to zig when everyone else zags. Like that's the type of people I want to work with, where they go, well, why can't we just do it the other way? Like I love it when someone says like that idea sucks, and we go, let's do that then. Like, and let's see how far we can push that idea. And I started positioning myself like, and I'm actually seeing the repercussions of that now. Like the people that are in my inbox that want to work with me, they are specifically coming to me being like, dude, I love the way you look at things, and I love the way you design. Like, and and that's why I want to work with you. So that's really exciting me. Like, so I'm so blessed and so grateful for that, to be able to work on stuff now. It's taken a long time, but like almost 100% of the projects that I work on now, I'm in love with the idea of the project. Like where obviously a few years ago, like you take on projects because you have to take on projects. Like, and again, I need to put a roof on my head. I need to do that stuff. So I would take on a project even if I wasn't like super excited about it, or it wasn't like the dream project. But like I am in a situation now where honestly, every project I'm working on, I'm like, this is fucking cool. Like this is.
I love it when that happens. Like I feel like that's been happening to me more recently as well, where like it's through the marketing and how you position yourself, and where like all the leads that you're getting, you're like, this is another dream client. Like this, I love this project, and you get really excited about them, and like it does show you like the power of effective marketing, of branding, basically, of effectively positioning yourself, and that is really exciting. Okay, if someone's listening to this and they're like feeling a bit like you have or do about social media, putting themselves out there, and they're really struggling with getting leads, like getting in those inquiries, even if they're not a designer, whatever their business is, what would be your advice? Like what would you advise them to do? Would you be like, do what I did and go and make content on Instagram? Or
this is tough. This is so funny. This is such a great question you've asked this, because I'm literally trying to answer this in the vlog that I'm making this week, which is about like, what is it like to market ourselves as a designer? Because again, like I'm not inherently good at this, believe it or not. Like it's not our thing. Like I think that when you're a freelancer or you're running your own thing, you're going to have to wear so many different hats. You have to do so many different things. And one of those is like that marketing of yourself. It's that putting yourself out there and showing it to the world. And like, that's super uncomfortable. That's not what we're great at. We're great at making stuff for people, not so much that. So I can only give the advice that I've done. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, do this, but I haven't actually done it myself.
Yeah.
So that technically means I can only tell you to do what I did. But I'm also aware that like, that's not for everyone either. Like, you're not going to be able to do what I did if that's genuinely like goes against your values of what you believe in and what feels great for you. But I think the best way to look at it is, again, we'll come right back to the kind of the whole theme of this thing, which is what is the cost of not doing that thing. So if you're sat there going like, look, I really want to do this. I want to run my own business and I want to be a designer and I want to be a freelancer and like you gotta really figure out like what it is that you want out of this life. Like what's the North Star? For me, like that's really clear in my head and always has been. Like it was 3 years ago when I quit my job. It's like I know where I'm trying to go in my life. I can imagine exactly where I'm going to be, where I'm going to live, what I'm going to wear, what that smells like. Like I'm so clear.
Well, that's amazing.
To a degree, to that level, I'm like that's where I'm going to be happy. Like that's the dream, and it's not even a big dream. Like there's no like fancy shit in there. It's just I just have like a wonderful family and it's really content and we cook outside in a barbecue. Like it's really normal stuff. Like I'm really clear of like what it is I'm trying to work towards, and I see myself there, and I see the way I get there is by being a designer. Like I'm a creative human being, and I run my own thing, and that's really exciting too. So then when I think about like what's the cost of not getting there, like is that what it's not marketing myself, like not making that video, like doing the hard stuff that I don't really love doing, like wearing those hats I don't really like doing. I'm like, well, fuck that. That can't be the thing that stops me. Like, I need to die to be the only thing that stopped me from getting there. So I'll make the video and I'll do the thing I don't want to do. And I'll look at myself in 4K and be like, God, you're ugly, dude. Like, you're so gross. Like, you will do that regardless. When it comes to like, okay, well, I really want to do this thing. You have a really clear idea of how you want to get there. You've got to just ask yourself, like, am I going to let that be the thing that stops me from getting here? So suddenly you're like, it's just like a video. Just make the video. Like, and if you've got all that time in the world as well, like time was my currency massively. Like I didn't have any money. There was no like money to plumb into the business, no money to advertise myself. Like, because that's your options. There's either do this for free or do this paid. There's not a third option here to market yourself. You have to pick one. And my guess is the majority of people that are listening to this don't have a pot of cash to start marketing themselves, right? So you got to do this shit for free. Social media is your option. It's free. And there's never been a time on this planet where we have access to millions of eyeballs completely for free. So it's mental that the thing that's stopping you from putting your work out to millions of people, to working towards that North Star, doing everything you can to just move the needle forward to that, is because I don't really like the color of my skin today. I don't like my teeth in this thing. Like when I think about it like that, I'm like, fuck that. I don't care. Like, and no one else cares. Like you're the only person that notices that. Like I blow myself up. I'm like 4K. I got this like, and I see all these imperfections. I'm like, God, it's so gross. But no one else is.
No,
and
no
it feels like it is, but no one's like, check in with yourself. Next time you're watching a video of someone, are you noticing all the imperfections? No, you're just listening to what they're saying, or you're really excited about what they're saying, and you're indulging in it. The person that posted that is probably sat there going, man, my hair didn't look good that day, or I sound like an idiot in this situation. For the person posting the content or putting the work out there, it's terrifying. For everyone else watching it, they don't give a shit about it anyway. So the minute like you kind of start to think about it like that too, is that like no one cares. No one cares about you. That's the most freeing thing in the world. Suddenly, like no one gives a crap about me. Really, they care about what I can offer them. So they want to watch my videos and they want to see the value I can give them. They're not seeing if my skin was right that day or they give a shit. So just like you got to learn to let go of it and remember what the North Star is, and just think, what can I do to move the needle a little bit closer to there every day?
One of the biggest lessons I've learned running my business is that ability to push through a bit of discomfort. And I'm not saying, like, obviously there's certain things that, you know, are too far. And I'm not saying you put yourself in like unsafe situations or you put yourself in like really horrible situations. But I think I've had to like build up a certain tolerance to discomfort. And it's like, okay, I don't feel great speaking to the camera in this. And I feel really awkward, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because exactly like you said, like, what the cost is too much to not do it. And I want to achieve these things and I want to take my business in a direction and I want to, build the life that I want to build. And
I think if you're not clear on what it is that you want, like all that hard stuff feels even harder. Like
true.
If you don't, you got to sit with yourself and just like, and don't do it in just a night. Like don't just spend like one evening being like, oh, what is it that I want? I could kind of want this. Like, fucking put some energy. It's your life, man. It's your life.
And
like,
don't get sucked in by what other people.
No,
I think that's
like,
the other thing. Is like, actually, I think we've probably got, again, probably why we get on is we've got like quite similar lives that we want to live and like aspirations for that. And I think it's so easy because you can see what everyone else is doing to think, oh, well, maybe that's what I should want, or that's what I should want. And then quite often what's happened to me is I've like tried something and I'm like, oh no, that's not even what I want. And so it's never going to work.
Too much influence. I said this in another video, like this whole thing, Liz, is just about too much stuff, isn't it? Like you get too influenced by everything else. You're too absorbed in what fucking Frank and Steve and Jeff and Sarah's doing to like worry about yourself. I think you just have to go like back to like ground zero again. What is it that I actually want out of this life? Like I have so much time on this planet. what am I going to do with it whilst I'm here?
Mm.
And just like be realistic with it. Like, just what is it that you actually want out of life? It's so funny when you actually sit down for a minute and think about that.
Think about like contentment as well, because actually
there's nothing wrong with being
that
content.
much-
Content sounds
yeah,
so
content is
good,
so good,
so
yeah.
exciting to be content. Like that's where I'm trying to head. It's like to sit with me and my partner and some kids and eating a big fat roast pork out on the lawn of something some one day. Like it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that moment. And like,
Make sure you vlog it.
I'll vlog the crap out of that too. And like to just, if that's all I've got to do is just get to that moment, and like that's all I care about. Suddenly, like seeing what everyone else is up to, just all that noise goes away, and it's really hard. The world is designed to be noisy now. It is so designed to be noisy.
And for us to be distracted. Like it benefits certain people if we're really distracted and we're really confused about what we want. But you know what I love about this is that it always comes, like, you know how we were saying earlier, that it always comes back to the same core lesson. So we were talking earlier about how, like, everything in moderation, you know, too much of anything is bad. But in this scenario, I think it's like comes back to branding again, where, you know, when you chat to a client and they're like, this is my goal. And the whole point of branding is helping them get to that goal. And I think that's exactly what you just described. Like you've identified your goal and now you are working on building your brand and your business to get you to that goal. And it's like, it comes back to strategy, which I hate the word strategy because I just think it's such a like, what even the hell does that mean? Like, it's just so, I just feel like it's such a vague word, but basically, like you come up with a goal and all strategy is making a plan to help you get to that goal. And that's what you just described.
Yeah.
Strategy is just a plan.
It's just a plan, just like break it down. It's like, again,
yeah,
there's so much noise to make everything sound much more fancier and sexier. It's like, again, this has been my mission, is to not, it's to lower the bar of entry into the industry. And so many people want to make it sound really sexy and really cool and really confusing and complicated.
Yes.
It's not that complicated, team. We're drawing stuff and we're making sure that it's for the people that we need to be drawing for, to make them either feel something, do something, or move something. Like that's the goal. It's really simple. So I'm trying to dumb the language down. I'm trying to make people just go, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is so scary. It's such an intimidating place. The amount of people that come to me and they're just like, I'm so overwhelmed. Should I be doing it like this? Should I be doing it like that? Should I be doing it? I'm like, it's not that deep, man. Like,
yeah, and the design industry is really intimidating.
If you're a designer, you already are a designer with strategy or using strategy to come up with stuff.
The whole process
it's literally
of
what design is.
Yeah, totally. Amazing. But if people want to find you online, if they haven't already, because let's be honest, they probably have, where should they go?
I mean, I'm going to push you to YouTube first more than anything these days. So you can find me just on YouTube as CJ Cawley Design, or just put in CJ Cawley. You'll probably come up now and you'll see my stupid animated face sharing stuff with you on YouTube. If not on Instagram, same thing again, cjcawley.design. Yeah, just find me in those two worlds, in those two places, and I'll be really stoked.
Yeah, don't go to delwox.com.
Don't go to www.delwox.com unless you fancy a laugh. And also, please do go through to the contact form on my website, cjcawley.com. Go to the contact form, and if you hover over that image of me at the studio, there's a nice little Easter egg all there for you as well.
Yeah, everyone go to the contact page.
Awesome.
I will link it all in the show notes. Thank you so much, CJ. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much. This is the coolest thing ever. I'm just gonna vlog the last little part of this. So Liz, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. This is ridiculous.
I'm so confused about what camera I'm supposed to look at now.
Yeah, same. I don't know which one it is, but honestly, Liz, thank you so much. This has been incredible. You're a legend.
So fun.